I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. NBA playoff news. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. Salute the friends and family. What's good with y'all? Appreciate y'all tapping in. If y'all haven't already, before we get into it, please hit the like button. Damn, Pacers, get up. Pacers getting their head beat in right now. It was close and they completely collapsed in the in the fourth quarter. We're gonna go over the numbers in this game. Just to kind of give everybody kind of heads up what we're gonna do today is first we're gonna talk about the Timberwolves and OKC game. Then we're going to go over tonight's game, which is the Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks, which both games have ended up in blowouts, unfortunately. But that's the structure we're going to use. But it's two things I do want to address before we get into the spiel. The first thing is now all this hype on SGA after he had 31. He was 10 of 27 from the field. He had like 14 free throws. Let's slow down on all the SGA was so great. 10 of 27 when I grew up doing math was 27%. Not good in my opinion. We're gonna get into that, but I just wanted to bring that up. Sometimes people look at the box score and don't look how that total occurred. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say that I don't know if SGA is as effective or as great of a player without the foul baiting and the back arching. I I could be wrong. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Am I tripping on SGA? Am I hating? What do you think? I'm not saying he's not a great player, right? But I'm thinking these fouls really that's like his special power to me is like these fouls. I mean, 14, and they're like they're not Giannis fouls where he's just getting hammered. These are low touching fouls, like low hanging fruit. So I'm wondering whenever they pull the plug on giving him the fouls, is he going to be the same guy? Is he going to be still continue to be an MVP caliber player without the help from the officials? That y'all let me know if I'm tripping. This is just my observation. I just want to talk about it and let's get into that. And then one more thing, I had a community member reach out to me saying that I just want to make sure that I say it right here. Just give me 1 second, y'all. That they feel in their gut that Giannis is gonna get traded to the Dallas Mavericks for the first pick of this draft, which is the Cooper Flag, a 2026 first round pick, and a 2028 first round pick. I was startled and just said, you know what? I'm gonna see what friends and family would think about a trade like that. What would you think if Dallas offered that to the Milwaukee Bucks? If you were the Milwaukee Bucks GM, what would you say to that? I'm gonna check in the comment section right now. Then we're gonna get into the game. I just wanted to address that. I'm gonna start to do that when we have some interesting comments that I'm sent. I want to discuss it with friends and family. What's good, Scales? I see you in the building. What's good, bro? What up, Jeff? What up, boy, mommy? I see y'all, Derek Stevenson. I'm gonna get to y'all in a minute. Let me just get this out. I just thought that was a very interesting concept to think that Giannis would only be worth a first round pick this year, a 26 and a 28. I just found that interesting that that's all for this specific community member it would take. I'm just wondering is like are some of us are watching a little bit too much ESPN. We got to slow down on the ESPN intake, y'all, because some of this stuff that's being said is off the reservation in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I want to repeat the trade was Giannis to Dallas for Cooper Flag, a 2026 first rounder and a 2028 first rounder. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'm gonna look right now. Let me get to these. Hold on 1 second. I see y'all. Luke Lipinski said, "Heck no, that is probably the worst trade ever." Jeff Riley, hell no. That's not enough. Agreed. I'm not mad at SCJ is a foul merchant. Okay, Brandon. Yeah, I think it was very interesting that people really don't understand the gravity sometimes of how good Giannis is, and they let the media steer them in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? To that community member, this is what I was trying to explain to you. Giannis is a unicorn. You don't give up a unicorn for a couple of draft picks and a maybe and Christian Laettner going first. You don't give him up for Christian Laettner and a couple of picks. It's just not what you do. But I just kind of wanted you to see that in the chat here and see how other people felt about that possible trade. Salute to you. Bleach Report Boss was good. Got the 199 super chat. That's a hell no to no boss. No way. Yeah, I was flabbergasted. What up, Tish? All right, y'all. Let me get into what we was talking about yesterday. Talk about in the other game here. Then we go get into everything. Appreciate y'all tapping in. So okay, so the game one I want to talk about first is the Timberwolves versus OKC. That game was actually a tale of two halves. The first half was like pretty much controlled by it was controlled by the Timberwolves. I feel like they lost momentum when Anthony Edwards twisted or I don't want to say twisted, but tweaked his ankle. I felt like he wasn't right and he played heavy minutes. I also think when OKC made the adjustment in that second quarter because most of the first quarter Minnesota had control. Second quarter they still had control until there was a rotation change by the Oklahoma City Thunder where they brought in the small lineup. And when they brought in the small lineup, it gave Minnesota all types of problems because of how freely they could switch. They got in the passing lane, caused a ton of turnovers, and that just kind of changed the complexity of the game. And I don't think the Timberwolves were able to adjust to that. And I think that's what they're going to need to do in the next game to make that competitive because you can't just expect Julius Randle to score 20 points in a half and then expect uh, and Edwards to score 40 every game. That's just not reasonable. They're gonna have the other people kick in, and they're gonna have to not shoot themselves in the foot as far as with turnovers. Us as Bucks fans as well, we know how turnovers can just hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So seeing it and from a outside looking in perspective, I can just feel the pain of Minnesota fans watching a team turn it over that much. Like that was absolutely crazy. I mean, we went from a game with the Timberwolves. Let me just put these stats up actually, my bad. Let me go to the Timberwolves first. So Timberwolves got their head beat in 114-188. So let me just go over this real quick because I'm trying to keep notes of some of this stuff. And it really came down to the turnovers in this game. 19 turnovers led to 31 points for the Thunder. You will never win a basketball game if you're giving up 30 points on turnovers. That's it, period. Also, Julius Randle, you can't have 20 points in the first half and then have 8 in the second half. That's just unacceptable to me. You should be at least having 35. If you got 20 in the first half, I need you to get me 35. They just couldn't carry them in the second half and they just disintegrated. And then Rudy Gobert couldn't do nothing. If Minnesota can't adjust to the small ball lineup, I could see them getting swept if they don't make no adjustment. And I like Ant-Man. I just uh I just posted a short on Ant-Man. I like him, but it can't just be him and sometimes Julius Randle. They're gonna need McDaniel to step up because OKC comes at you in waves. OKC comes at you in real waves. This is a good team. And I talk crazy about SGA, but he does what he has to do for this team. I mean, 14 free throw attempts. He's knocking them down, 31 points, plus 22, and he still dropped 9 assists. Jalen Williams is the X factor on this team. That's the difference maker on OKC. When Jalen Williams plays solid, they're usually a win. When he doesn't play good, they usually lose. It's really him that's the X factor because you know what you're gonna get from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's the others that you're not too sure about. But Jalen Williams has been kind of their second guy for the most part. So when he's playing well, they usually win. So I gotta give them credit. They won at home. They're supposed to. But I am disappointed that Ant only took 13 shots. That's my biggest disappointment in this game. If you're an elite and they're trying to make you the face of the NBA and all of this stuff. I know you had the ankle issue, but when you just have 13 shot attempts, that's unacceptable to me from a star. You can't just have 13 shot attempts in a game. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm yeah. I'm not yeah. That's absolutely crazy. And is gonna have to redeem himself in this second game because that's a real bad look. And that's really why they lost. I mean, you got 18 points from him, 28 from Randall. No one did anything else. They shot 35% from the field, 29% from three, 17 turnovers. They only had 18 assists. This was a horrible game. They got outscored in the second half, I believe. Let me double check this. 70-40 in the second half. 70-40. Crazy. Crazy. Like that, you can't let that happen. Like I said, I'm not gonna say they folded and quit. They just didn't have nothing for the what OKC was giving them. They didn't have nothing for it at all. Nothing. Salute to them though. This game, I can't believe that the Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is still wild to me. It's still wild to me. Let's get into the numbers for that one now next, y'all. Pacers always find a way to fight back and make it look good. You know, they're always dangerous in these situations. Right now, 118, 123. The Pacers just find a way to just stick around and try to steal it at the end. You got to give them their credit. Tyrese Haliburton, as much as we dislike him, he makes a lot of plays for this team. Uh, Tyrese Haliburton makes a lot of plays for this team in his special way, but he makes a lot of plays for this team. He played well. Naismith. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Hey, Naismith and Nemhard got a lot of goon in them. They do a lot of little dirty tactics if you're not paying attention that they be doing. You got Naismith and Nemhard, or I'm not gonna call them dirty, but they bend the rules. They do little stuff. You got to pay attention to them. They're goonish. They're goonish. But Halliburton played well. Naismith and Siakam didn't kill him, but he did pitch in with 17. And our favorite bench player, TJ McConnell, he's just effective in no matter what. TJ McConnell's gonna get you probably 10 to 15 every game, no matter what, if you give him minutes. He is super effective at what he does. You know what's coming, and you just can't stop it. Jesus. The Pacers are gonna steal this game. What is going on? How do they do this over and over again? The Pacers find a way to. I've never seen a team like this before. Friends and family, have you ever seen a team like this? Like, this is insane. How are they doing this? Wow. The Pacers. I gotta respect the Pacers. Pacers got a lot of heart. They just got heart. We gotta give them credit. They make plays. They're well coached. They don't quit, and they make plays. Damn, man. And look at the shooting. Look at the shooting. 50% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, 73% from the free throw line, which is kind of hurting them. But look at this. This is how you stay in the game, friends and family. 5 turnovers is how you stay in the game. 5 turnovers. 5. That's how you stick around. Extremely disciplined, well-coached basketball team in the Indiana Pacers. And Jalen Brunson is just cold. I try to look for deficiencies and things to not like. Maybe a little bit of foul merchant in him as well. But he's cold and he got heart and he hit big shots. Him and Halliburton, as far as clutch, those are two of the most young clutch players in the NBA as far as hitting big shots, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. This is just for my opinion. Those are they both shoot with confidence. Both shoot with confidence. Cat was hooping today, 32 points. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby made some just spectacular defensive plays. Damn, I would love for us to have a wing like OG Anunoby. Play defense, can hit an open three. can get his own shot if he need to. A nice little Swiss Army knife player. OG Anunoby would be dope with the Bucks. I like his game and what he brings to the table. I like what he brings to the table. Josh Hart, was double double man, almost got a double double, 8 and 11. This isn't even too bad for turnovers. Only 11 turnovers. They're shot 52%. These are pretty two equally yoked teams, to be honest. This series could go 7 to me. I could see this series going 7 because they're equally matched. I really think this could go 7. I think that this series is really gonna come down to turnovers and hitting big shots between Brunson and Haliburton hitting big shots. I think most of these games, for the most part, should probably go down to the wire just because of how equally matched these teams are. Now, let me tell you what Indiana has though that the Knicks don't have, and that's youth and speed. So I will say this: if Indiana can keep the pace up, sustain that run and gun, they will tire out the Knicks. Especially the way Tibbs plays his players, they will tire out the Knicks. So that is the feather in the cap and the advantage that I would give Indiana in this series is the all-around pace that they play with and speed. I would give them that. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. But I think that could be a difference maker in the long run in this series is playing at the frenetic pace consistently of what the Pacers play. To be honest, this Pacers will let them back in the game. The New York stopped hitting turnovers. Like, hey, it happens. Just missed shots. Indiana I feel like they just got a rabbit's foot or something. They get some of the luckiest stuff. They get all the calls at the worst possible times. Everything just go their way for the Pacers. Is this year their year? I even know they losing this game, but they were getting blown out and they find a way to come back. I just I don't even know what to say about this squad. It's just wild. They fight to the bitter end. I gotta give them that. Shout out everybody in the chat. Damn, these Pacers. Just go away. Damn. Getting frustrated with the Pacers. Doing too much. Jeez. Are y'all entertained by the playoffs though? Or at least are y'all entertained? I'm definitely entertained by this year's playoffs. Let me shout out everybody in the building. What's good? What up, Luke Lipinski? Appreciate you tapping in. Chessbox, what's good? Jeff Riley, what's good? Derek Stevenson in the building. My boy Gibson Nicholas, shout out to the Bahamas in the building. Chessbox was good, bro. Two Red Violin was good. JST Fresh Tech was good. What up, Tish? OG Queen in the chat was good. Brandon King Carter in the building. What up, boy, mommy? Appreciate you tapping in. My man Brandon King Carter. Scales was good. Greg Delaney was good. Tony Tone was good. Appreciate you tapping in. What up, humble gentlemen? Appreciate you tapping in, bro. Thank you. We got Bleacher Report in the building. Salute to you, bro. Let's talk about it, Mr. Cool. Damn, this team won't quit. Hey, the Pacers will not quit. Yep, Nas Reed, 1 of 11 too. That was huge too, Scales. I forgot to mention that. Yep, 1 of 11. That is a fact. My bad. I forgot to mention that earlier. Hey, Scales, they just lucky, bro. They're lucky. I don't know what else to say. Bro, they lucky, bro. Indiana got a rabbit's foot. I don't know what kind of magic they got going on. Look at this. I just let them pull it off. Just let them win. Let the Pacers win. You can't stop what's supposed to happen. Knicks, just let them win. You can't stop it. Jonathan Porter, the builder, was good. King Temp was good. Oliver Story was good. Eli Romero was good, bro. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Get to some of these comments. Sneaky Ninja was good. Oh yeah, JST Fresh Tech said, "Why can't our GM do trades like this? You never know what's gonna happen this offseason. He might pull a rabbit out the hat. We gonna see. What up, Monalando? I didn't see you in the chat. Monalando said the Knicks are entertaining. I agree. I agree. Salute. Mr. Cool in the building said the Pacers have the ball down by 3. Hey, the Pacers are a good team, Mr. Cool. I'm trying to find flaws in their game. Hey, Scales, what have I just said, bro? You already they got I don't know what they've done, but they get everything goes their way when they need it to. Everything goes the Pacers' way. Yeah, bro, I don't want to say nothing like that, Monoloto. I'm trying not to say nothing like that. Yo, Monoloto, I can't even. My boy, Monoloto. Yeah, something like that because it's scary to watch how it happens. They do it too much, bro. It happens way too often. Coincidence is every blue moon. Weekly basis, something else is up. This is happening weekly for the Pacers. Weekly. These improbable come from behind. Yeah, I'm glad they lost. Yeah. That was crazy. Wow. They just find a way to just claw, 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 claw. That was crazy. Salute to the Knicks for hanging on. Refs was trying to get Jalen Brunson fouled out the game, calling it all types of just ticky tack calls on him. And he at home. Man, it's something with these Pacers. I still worried about these Pacers. Like hey. Oh, I told you. You can't beat the Pacers. Yo, what is happening? What is happening, friends and family? Hey, Monolondo, Scales, Oliver, Boy Mommy, Mr. Cool, any of y'all, please explain to me how this happens so consistently. I want a logical reason from someone in this chat how this keeps happening. I need to understand. It doesn't make sense. There's no logical explanation why this always happens for the Pacers. I need an explanation. Stat. Someone help. I am looking for comments. I am looking for comments. Two Red Violins said the Pacers, just like the Celtics last year, have sold their souls to win a championship. I remember the Celtics opponents all going down with one injury or another. This is all trickery at this point. Yo. Do y'all not understand how insane this is? Mr. Cole, where are you to make sense of this? Mr. Cole, what is happening? The Pacers. Bro, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Scales, on the KD foot. But no, this is the thing though, Scales, and y'all still not grasping what I'm saying. This is not the first time this happened. This is not the second time this has happened. This is not the third time this has happened. This is not the fourth time this has happened, right? This is like the sixth time this has happened. What are we talking about? They did it to us multiple times in the play. They did it. They're doing it all the time. I can understand a one-off. This is just a regular day at the office for the Pacers. It's improbable to see a team do this. Improbable. I gotta give them their credit. Thank you, Bleacher. Thank you, Bleacher. One, they were up by 14 with 3:23 left, and we're going into overtime. How? How? This is insane. Hey man, Haliburton, bro, he putting in work, bro. Let me get to some of these chat. Hey, Haliburton putting in work Scales. I'm sorry, bro. He putting in work. Jonathan Porter said Hallie grabbing his neck on a tie game shot is crazy work. Look at me. I am thoroughly entertained by this year's playoffs and all the shenanigans and tomfoolery that's occurring in these playoffs. Oh, Mr. Cool said the reason is the Pacers have 5 guys at all times that are confident they will make the shot. Plus, they are well coached and they are able to really focus. That's true. But that's because they're well coached is what makes them allow them to focus and execute down the stretch. I mean, in these big games, the Pacers execute down the stretch. You don't see the Pacers randomly turning the ball over or doing something stupid. It's always the other team. It's never them. It's always the other team. They get it. And I know sometimes it's a call stepped on the line here, this and that, but all the other stuff, they don't do it to themselves, is all I'm saying. The Pacers don't do it to themselves. I gotta give them their credit there. Boy, my heart do that. She refuses to say anything positive about the Pacers. Oh boy, mommy, you consistent. Salute. Salute to boy mommy. Hey, I'ma tell y'all this. If y'all don't know, the queens of the chat stand on business. If they don't mess with you, it's up for life. It's up for life. Oh boy, mommy. Oh, hilarious. Robert Allen was good. Haliburton with the choke might have been a little early. Brunson has 5 fouls, though. Yeah, but you got to understand, though, that's what he does. Why are y'all acting surprised? Monalando, I don't want you copying his shooting for it, bro. Let's leave that to the professionals, bro. Don't do that. Two Red Violin was good. I hope that chip is all worth it. They need to go watch the movie Sinners. All right. This looks crazy. This is insane. Okay, Knicks, let's go, Knicks. Knicks straight now. Yeah. They straight now. It's all good now. They up 4. They can't possibly blow this. The Knicks cannot possibly blow this now. Okay, we under 3 minutes. The Knicks are up 4. There's no way they can blow this. What up, MNX? What is this? MNX Colossus. What's good, bro? King Temp said he's mad corn. He can't come up with an original Selly. Yeah, facts. What up, B Shack? See, I told y'all, boy, mommy stand on business. Boy, mommy stand on business. It is what. Damn, these Pacers. Wow. B Shack was good. Haliburton with the premature choke sign. That's why people don't like this. Too. Hey, respectfully, B Shack, come on. You're not it. You expect things like that from him at this point. You've called out his character multiple times, B Shack. Are you surprised at this point? Are you really surprised, B Shack? This is just status quo for a knucklehead. Yeah, Jonathan Porter said Pacers gotta win now after the neck grab. Yeah, low key they do. But I just don't know what to say about the Pacers, y'all. This is wild. Monalando, what's good? Who's more unoriginal? Hallie with the Dame watch and Reggie Miller grab neck, or Jason Tatum with his corny line? No, it's not Jason Tatum with the corny lines. It's Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was saying the corny lines, and I don't like. Yeah, he should create his own thing. Like Steph did the little sleep thing. He even though that was weird, but at least his own thing. Yeah, I don't like the mimicking someone else's, especially for a clutch moment. You got to do your own thing for that. Create your own moment. You using somebody else's thing to create your own moment. I don't like it. That's sucker stuff to me. You got to be original. Why are you gonna do something like somebody else in a big moment? They gonna remember that person for that, and then they gonna you his son doing what he do. Knock it off. Boy, mommy agreeing with B Shack. Damn it, the Pacers, man. I mean, y'all, what are we doing? I mean, Naismith is 8 of 9 from 3. Let me repeat, friends and family. Did y'all hear what I said? Aaron Naismith is 8 of 9 from 3. This is after moments ago, Scales mentioned that he was, what, 5 of 8 or something like that? He's hit 3 additional threes in a short amount of time. I don't know what these dudes got going on, the Pacers, but it's nasty work. This can't be real. How they're doing it, what they're doing, this can't be real. I refuse to believe this can be real. This is just insane. Maybe it's just their year. I don't know. Win or lose, this is disgusting though that they're able to do what they do. It's just ridiculous. B Shack said, dude trying to be the second coming of Reggie Miller. Absolutely. Very corny. Are they gonna roast him today? Especially if they lose, they gonna roast him. AB was good. AB said, bro, this game is bonkers. Yeah, very entertaining. Okay, New York. Okay, New York. They like, nah, we ain't gonna lose at home. Boy, Mommy said if they get a win at MSG, Knicks are done. I don't know if they're done, but yeah, that definitely puts them in a bad spot. Naismith be hacking, period. I told you he low-key dirty. I called him a goon. That's what I was saying earlier, Scale. He low-key a goon, bro. He's low-key a goon, bro. Low-key. Let me put the link in the chat, too. I forgot about that. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Put the link in the chat here. See what Jonathan Porter talking about here in JST Fresh Tech. What y'all talking about? Jonathan Porter said, watching Brunson reminds me of watching Giannis and everybody else just stand still. He the only one that got hurt. Who else on their team got hurt, Jonathan Porter? Just him. He has to carry the load, sir. He has to carry the load. If they need to win, he's going to have to score the next, 10 points? We're going to need almost a 50 ball from him. 39? Nah. We're going to need almost a 50 ball for it to work, right? Damn. 109, 132, 131. This is insane, friends and family. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Wow. Okay. Are we going to double overtime? Friends and family, are we going to double overtime? Thank you. Monalando, so you've been seeing that too. He was trying to hurt Giannis. He's a dirty dude. Okay, Knicks. I see y'all. Let's go. They got this. Tap in, B Shack. Give me a second. One of the more well-respected members of this community. Get the likes up. B Shack, tell me how they do it. No. Before we get into anything, we gonna talk about Minnesota and all that after we get done with this game. Explain to me how they do this.
Man, this is some, I don't know, some voodoo Buford dust, some crazy stuff, man. I don't know how they always sneak back in the game like this, man. They always do this. My wife is sitting here. There's a minute 40 left. She was like, "It's over, it's over." I said, "No, it ain't over, baby," because these guys always come back. And she got so stressed she had to go upstairs, man. I mean, we originally from New York.
This is wild. This is wild, B Shack.
They I mean, oh my, I knew Haliburton was gonna, I knew he was gonna make a shot, man. I just knew it. I just knew it, man, because he's always doing that little step back,
Right.
high arcing shot. They did the chest, the choke thing. I want to throw something at my TV so bad, man.
Right.
Then they
Hey,
said a
and Brunson is doing
two-pointer.
all he can. But Carl Anthony Towns has exited the building in the overtime and in the fourth quarter to me. I feel like Towns kind of slowed down. He got 35, but a lot of that damage was done earlier.
Yeah, man. Towns, man, I don't know about Towns, man. Towns is like he makes good plays and he makes stupid plays, stupid fouls.
Yeah, the
But
fouls, the stupid
Brunson,
fouls. Yeah, I agree.
Brunson got 40 points, man. They better not waste this effort, man. They cannot lose this game, man.
You almost got
I
two
can't
players with 40. I mean, Carl Anthony got 35. He got 43.
listen, Amara, I cannot describe to you how much I hate the Pacers. I don't think I've never disliked an NBA team this much in my whole life.
I can't
Oh
be
my
Shaq.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Everything about them, man. They're good, man, but they're aggravating, man. They
Right.
just
They're very
they
bush league. They're very bush league. They're not
they're
immature. Let me say that. They act very immaturely.
immature, man. They act as if like they won something. They haven't won anything yet. They just can't. They gotta win this game, man.
Hey, please get the likes up for B Shack. Do y'all not see the passion in B Shack's face, yo? Oh, I
Oh man.
love the playoffs. I love
Any
the playoffs.
let's see where am I at? Indiana by
One.
Indiana up by 1 point, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
We just
Brunson.
confirmed. Yep. 18 seconds.
Get the
Yep.
ball in.
Haliburton got 31. Naismith is 8 of 9 from the 3-point line. I think that's the difference in this game. You can't let Aaron Naismith go 8 of 9 from three.
I and see his biggest weapon is that no one expects him to do that. So so like every time had the ball, they were like, nah, he ain't gonna do it again. He can't do it again. He kept making the shots.
8 of 9, 80%.
That listen, I haven't seen one that hot since Gary Trent Jr.
Right.
was hot for the Bucks like that.
Right.
Oh my
You
goodness.
what I
This
was
is
saying earlier, I don't
horrible.
know if you saw that B shot. They're playing overtime now and it's almost over, right? The Pacers
Yeah.
have 6 turnovers.
Wow. In the overtime?
Period.
Oh, for the whole game.
This
Wow.
far. Six
Wow.
turnovers.
That is incredible for the type of intensity it's been in this game. Oh my goodness. Come
Six
on, man.
turnovers. They don't beat themselves. That's what I was telling friends. The Pacers, you have to beat the Pacers. They're not gonna let you beat them.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to earn it.
Anytime you got to lead on them, you got to act like you're behind. You got to beat them into the ground. You got to. It's like a horror movie, man, or a thriller. You know, you hit the person over the head, and then they walk away and turn their back. I'm like, don't turn your back.
So,
Kill
hey,
them.
so you saying the Knicks turn their back on the Pacers and they
Turn
kill
their
'em?
back, man. And they got up. They got up like they was half dead, man. And you got to kill them, man.
Yeah,
You got to kill them.
yeah, you
And that
can't.
and after you kill them, you got to kill them again.
I don't know if you saw the stat the Bleacher Report put up. 3 minutes, I believe, 23 seconds left. They were up by 14. The Knicks. 14. I've never seen what we're watching right now ever. This is. I know this. I'm at a loss for words of what I'm seeing and how they're doing it effortlessly in Madison Square Garden on one of the biggest stages in all of
MSG,
sports.
man. MSG.
The
I
Pacers
mean,
have let the world know they are for real tonight. I'm telling y'all that. Regardless of what happens, they have let the world know on one of the biggest stages that they are for real. They are making a statement.
I gotta say, man, you gotta have a lot of heart, and you gotta have a lot of um, emotional toughness. New York fans. Let me just explain to folks who've never been to New York, never been to MSG. New York fans are some of the highest IQ fans. Every fan knows the stats. Every fan knows what the nail is, what the corner is, what the block is. They know everything about basketball. I mean, when they trash talk you, they trash talking with intelligence and they're intense. So this atmosphere, you're not dealing with some Fugazi fans. You're dealing with
Right.
real. You saw how crazy they was outside the game. Like they had
Yeah,
won
right,
the
right,
championship.
bro.
Like they had won the championship.
Right.
And that gets louder in there. New York and Oklahoma, two of the loudest places to play. And the fans are in shock, man. The fans are in shock right now.
Right.
Because they were ready to
Right.
celebrate. They was ready to celebrate.
There's gonna be a lot to discuss. The Knicks gonna have to look themselves in the face and understand they can beat this team, but they can't let their foot off the gas ever. It should be all gas, no brakes against the Pacers. You cannot let your foot off the gas. You cannot choke a 14-point lead with less than 3.5 minutes left. You can't do that. You just This
You
is gonna
can't
be
do
hard to recover from. I'm not saying it's over. What up, Miss Robert Walker Murphy? Salute. It's over.
Towns. Oh my goodness. Stephen A. gonna lose his mind tomorrow.
This is gonna be Woo!
Stephen A. gonna lose his mind tomorrow.
This is gonna be. I don't even know what to say. Hey, friends and family, what do we say about this?
Man, let me just I didn't want to watch the last 2 seconds, man.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see
Everything.
it, man.
Right,
I
right.
don't I
He
don't want
said, "Damn, Knicks." Right.
I don't want to see the smile on their faces, man. I don't want to see them celebrate. I don't want to see none of that.
I told y'all that Brunson needed 50. He tried. He had 43. He did all he could.
Man, this is
What up,
crazy.
Scale? Let me tap you in. Hold on. Let me change
This is
screens. Hold
crazy, man.
on.
This is crazy,
Oh, let's
man.
get Scales in here. Hold on. Hey,
This
bro.
is crazy,
What?
man.
How are they doing
What's
this,
up,
bro?
man?
Scales, you better
What's
come
up,
on here and tell me what's
Scales?
going on, bro.
I don't know what's going on, brother. I to be honest, okay. All jokes aside, because I don't want to take up too much of our time, but what it comes down to is they're playing too fast, and I mean it's a point in the game where the Knicks can play like that because they got athletes, but you only playing 7 guys, so they're gonna get tired after a while. And what you saw at the end of that fourth quarter was they just got gas, bro, and the Pacers kept running that pace.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like Amara, you remember like high
Right.
school basketball. I played against Shaq. You probably don't know about this kind of local, but
Right.
I played against Vincent. Remember how Vincent used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hold
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
ball at the
yeah,
end of
yeah.
the
I remember
game?
that.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
you have to do that against teams like the Pacers who like to run. The team that I played for, we ripped and ran, running gun all night long. So the
Right.
only way you were gonna beat us is if you held the ball and
Right.
didn't turn it over and shot a high field goal percentage. Other than that, we were gonna force turnovers and rip and run on you all night and shoot three
Right.
pointers. So that's what I'm saying. That's the Knicks needed to play 23 seconds on the clock and then let Brunson take a shot. Or you get what I'm saying? That
But
coming down,
yeah,
gunning
that's
a three,
exactly
and
what I was
then letting the
mentioning
Pacers.
earlier. That's their advantage. The player for player is pretty equal. It's the pace that's the difference.
It's the
And
pace.
also, as much as I hate to admit it, the Pacers don't beat themselves, bro.
No,
They
they don't.
not gonna
Six
beat
turnovers is
themselves. They
amazing, but I think the 6 turnovers got negated by the Knicks' offensive rebounding. Though Amar, their
correct.
offensive
That's true.
rebounding is
Yep, that's a
amazing,
fact.
bro.
Yep.
Hart,
Yep.
Towns,
Yep.
Robinson, them dudes hit the glass hard, bro. Offensively, like Robinson had a play in this game where he had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in a row on one possession.
But you
Like,
forgetting in the second half, Indiana started rebounding with Obi Toppin. It was 11-13 on the offensive rebound. That's the thing with the Pacers. What you think they didn't do good at, they right there. Then you like, damn, that's why,
Well, listen,
so B Shea,
all
what you
that
think,
is
man?
all that is true. All that is true. But Neesmith rescued them tonight.
Oh, he did. He Gary
Hey,
Trent.
the scales was tight about Naismith.
He
I've
rescued
been
him tonight. They should have
I've
did
been
something
tight
to
about
break his
Naismith.
rhythm or something, man.
I've been tight about Naismith since our series. I do not like that
He
kid. Like
dirty. He dirty.
oh, I didn't like him as a Celtic. I don't like him as a Pacer. I don't like that kid. I don't care what it is.
I didn't like him. I didn't like him since I didn't like how he treated Middleton. You come from Middleton's hometown. You come from his high school, and you're gonna do your hero like that. You're gonna play him dirty like that. You didn't have no respect for him. I ain't like him just because of that. I
Right.
don't like Neesmith. I don't like Nemhart. I don't like Obi
Matherin.
Toppin.
Mather,
I
yeah,
don't like
Matherin's another one. He a
Matherin. Oh my
goon. He a
goodness.
goon.
This the
Matherin a
most
goon.
Can't stand
unlikable
him.
team, man, in the league, man.
Right.
This the most
But they
unlikable team,
winning.
man.
They're winning though. It's you can't.
Man, we just got to look at it, bro. Carlisle won in Detroit. Carlisle won in Dallas. And Carlisle looked like he might be getting ready to go again in Indiana. So it might be Rick, y'all. Like, let's just be honest
Okay.
here, bro.
Okay.
It might just be Rick. Like, we on this platform, we debate coaching, and if coaching matters, I see it's
Yep.
like 50-50 on here, where some people think
Right.
Doc ain't the problem, they think it's the players. I think the Pacers are a pure example of Rick. If you just because I don't think we talk about Rick Carlisle's history because
Right.
he's still coaching. So
That's
I
true.
think
That's
because
a
he's
fact.
still coaching,
Great point.
we don't Phil Jackson him or do him like we do some of these other coaches. But if you look at Carlisle's history, he's gotten it done without the man in the league. Like he's done it with a collective
Listen,
of players. He's never
That.
had
Yep.
Jordan or Shaq or
Right.
that guy. He's always
we
had a
had Dirk.
collective.
We had Dirk.
Dirk. Yeah.
I mean, Dirk at that time, it
But
was people
listen,
saying KG was better,
I'm with
Duncan was
you.
better. It was arguably that it was better big men in the league than Dirk at that time, B-Shaq. Duncan and Garnett were
Well,
considered better than him at that
yeah.
time. So,
Well,
but he did have,
I'm
but
a
look,
back
look,
you
he
up.
had, hold on, I'm going to give you, he had Peja Stojakovic. He had Jason Kidd. He had Sean Marion. He had Deshaun Stevenson. He had Jason Terry. He had Tyson Chandler. Do you see what I'm saying here? Look at the Pacers
Yeah,
roster. Looks a lot the same.
yeah,
Might not be
yeah.
as veteran laden because today's NBA you
hmm
have to have young guys,
Right.
but it's the same type of caliber of player though. When you look up and down those rosters, the roster in Detroit, loaded. Chauncey, Rip, Tayshaun, Ben, Rasheed, loaded. So that's what I'm saying. Like Rick's not no joke, bro, and he coaches very deep teams that press 94 feet. I mean, I'm giving it more to Rick than I am the
Well,
players right now, just because
well,
I don't like the Pacers players.
Hold on
Like,
let
one
me say this
second, y'all.
about
Hold on.
Rick.
Before you go, B Shack, 1 second. Let me just get Miss Barbara Walker Murphy $20 super chat. Appreciate the $20 super chat, man. Word, we got like 3 people coming off the bench, and Mitchell Robinson is 2 of them. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. They're not deep enough to run like Scales was saying. They're just not deep enough to run. All facts. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Miss
Well, I'm gonna
Barbara
say this
Walker
about let me
Murphy.
say this about Rick Carlisle. Let me say this. Let me give my Rick Carlisle spiel.
Uh,
Um, when Jason Kidd came to the Dallas Mavericks, Carlisle was still called out plays on the bench, and
mm-hmm.
Jason was like, "Timeout, timeout." He had a meeting with Carlisle. He said, "Yo, just let me run the team. Just trust me. Put the ball in my hands. Let me run the team." He did that, and everyone on that Dallas team would tell you Jason Kidd was their coach on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, when they were playing the Miami Heat, um, Miami Heat was, I think, did they go 0-2 over that series?
I think so. I think they
So
went up the
yeah.
first. Yeah.
Okay. There was a major adjustment that Carlisle made. And because the Heat, they couldn't get past the Heat's like kind of pressure defense in the half court. And he simply said this, and Kid was part, he said, always said we told him, listen, just reverse the ball to the other side of the court just one more time
Mm.
so that they can at least use up some wind on their defense. Just move the ball from side to side just a little bit more. That was just enough to get people like Jason Terry open. And just little small little adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons I think he left Dallas, because I think he saw the Luka issues early.
Yeah, he did. He was one of the first people that I ever seen even though he made Luka, because we can be honest, that
Right.
Luka's a product of Rick Carlisle. He's not a product of Jason Kidd. Just like Giannis was a product of Jason Kidd and not a product of Bud. But
Right.
that's another conversation. But I totally agree with what you're saying, B Shaq. I do believe that's why he got up out of there. And if you
Yeah.
look at what you just described, Chauncey Billups ran the show in Detroit. Kidd
Yeah.
ran the show in Dallas. Halliburton's running the show
In
in
Indiana, yeah,
Indiana. So Rick Carlisle
has a
encourages
style.
his point guard to be coaches on the floor. Because if you watch the
Yeah.
Pacers, Halliburton's running the show, bro. Like he's
Absolutely.
telling
He
everybody
does.
where to
Yeah, he
And
does.
he
be.
has
Yeah.
He's
full
running
control of the
everything out there.
offense. He has full
Full
control
control of the
of the
offense.
offense.
He plays very freely. You know what I mean? Especially to have like a tyrant coach like he has.
Right.
It's something that he does with his point guard, something about his communication, B-Shack, or something. His you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
he connects with his point
Yeah.
guards and they're him on the floor. They're Rick Carlisle literally on the court. And that's what you're
Yeah.
seeing the result of. I'm not a Pacer fan. I'm just a basketball purist,
Yeah,
and
no,
I'm
that's
just
all
going off
facts.
of
Agree with you. No, that's
off of
all facts.
what I've watched Carlisle do against our teams over the years. Like you said, how he even shout out to the hometown homie Devin Harris, how he injected Devin into that series and changed
Right.
it against Miami, against D Wade and the younger guys and all of that. So Carlisle's good at that, fixing things on the fly and then running everything through his point guard. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I think he was over the players the coaches association for
yep,
quite a
for a
few
while.
years
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
He's a class act, man, when you really think about it. You know what I mean? If you do your
Right.
basketball history, if people get on Wikipedia, Google anything, and Google Rick Carlisle, he's a class act, man, and he's won everywhere he's been. So, as much as I want to hate on the Pacers,
But
front
this is
office,
also why
that shout
this
out
is
to,
why I fight
oh,
on
go
the
ahead.
side of coaching all the time.
Me too. And
This
shout
is
out to
this
guys
is
like
why
Kevin.
I fight on the side of coaching a lot. I'm not saying players don't. Obviously, you need some quality talent, but once you have the quality talent, it's the coach that puts it over the top, taking advantage of what your team's best attributes are. And the Pacers coach, Rick Carlisle, is taking advantage of the attributes. They have speed, length, and athleticism, and that's all he's focusing on and getting shots up. If we get up
Like
enough
Halliburton's
shots, yeah.
Halliburton's from here, B Shack, so we got to watch him play in high school. You know what I mean? He won a
Mm,
state championship here. I watched him at Iowa State. You know what
yeah.
I mean? He played with a bunch of kids from Milwaukee at Iowa State. I watched him in Sacramento, but the guy in Indiana doesn't look like that guy that I saw in high school, college, or at Sacramento. This guy in Indiana looks different, and that's Rick Carlisle. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's Carlisle. That's got this guy looking
Yeah.
like a top 5 point guard in the NBA, literally. Like he looks that good right now, and especially it's been in this playoff run.
Yeah.
Like we giving Anthony Edwards all these Slayer credits and all that. You got to start giving the Pacers some Slayer credits
Right.
too. They
Yeah.
done took
Yeah.
down some serious opponents on this
That's
run.
true.
And even to beat these Knicks tonight, the Knicks are hot. Their two
Yeah.
stars had 40, so that's like Damon Giannis getting 40 and you still beating the Bucks
That's
because
why,
Brunson and
and
Towns
I
had
don't know who
40.
said it earlier. Maybe it was B Shack that said you can't waste that type of performance from your
No,
two
you can't.
stars going.
You
This
can't.
will hurt the Knicks. Maybe if it was multiple people scoring 20, where it's kind of balanced, that's different. But when your stars give you 40 apiece and you lose, that's deflating. I feel like in a deeper fashion. That's like, damn, we both had 40 and lost. Now it's
Well,
psychological. Now it's gonna be psychological.
let me
Agreed.
say this. Let me say this. Let me ask us, respectively, to pump the brakes for a second,
Mhm.
because I think the Knicks are built tough
Okay.
in a tough city, and I'm sorry, when you go into Boston and win the first two games, I think it takes more than a game one loss to really shake you.
Okay.
I think their confidence will still be intact because they slayed the giant already. Now they got to
Okay.
understand though that
Okay.
even though Indiana was that the so-called the giant the Celtics were, you got to treat them like a giant. Again, when you in the movie when you hit the person over the head, you cannot turn your back. You got to make sure they're dead. And you got to make sure the Indiana Pacers are dead. You got to push it from 15 to 20, from 20 to 25. You got to make sure. You got to break this spirit, man, because these cats don't know how to die.
Right,
No,
they're
they
like
don't.
They
Michael
just
Myers or
don't.
Jason
They
Voorhees.
don't.
They just keep coming from. They just
They
They
keep
don't.
just
coming.
keep coming back, man.
And
And
I
where's
agree.
Charles Oakley when you need him? Where's Charles Oakley? We need a Charles
I
Oakley to put someone on their butt, man.
I
McConnell
agree
coming
with you.
unimpeded to the lane.
Right.
McConnell is out there coming unimpeded. He changed the complexion of that game too when he came in off the bench. I don't know how McConnell
Man,
do
you
it.
got, you got.
If you
I guess I'm
look
from
at
the
the
old school,
Pacers,
man.
if you look at the Pacers and you look at the Thunder, bro, they play that four flat out. They let their point guard do his thing at the top. The Knicks try to do it too, but Brunson over dribbles a little bit.
Right,
SGA and Haliburton are quicker with their decisions. Brunson dribbles till he get what he trying to get.
right.
Haliburton and SGA are either gonna make their move or get
Yeah,
off the ball. You see
move
what
the
I'm saying?
ball.
That's the only
Yeah.
difference with their four flat instead of Thibodeau's four flat.
Mm.
Thibodeau's four flat look better with Derrick Rose than it does with Brunson. You get what I'm saying? But it works with Brunson because Brunson is a bucket. So it works at the end of the day.
But D Rose was so explosive. His decision making was
Exactly.
immediate.
It's
D
first
Rose
step,
was
man.
First
immediate.
step.
Yeah,
And he
that
was
first.
bigger too. He was a
Right.
bigger guard too, 6'3", you know what I
Yeah.
mean? 200 something pounds, bigger dude than Brunson. But I'm just saying that's how effective Brunson is at 5'10",
Right.
that he plays like he's like 6'4". You get what I'm saying? That's how effective he is offensively. But they run the same thing. But I agree with you. That's why the lane's always open. Even against the Bucks, we're one of the best paint defensive teams in the NBA. We didn't guard the
Right.
three well, but it was
Right.
hard to score against us in the paint. The lane was wide open on us all night. Want to know why? Because they do that four flat. Everybody's in the corners. Even Miles Turner's at the top of the key, waiting for the ball. Think about it. Their post player is Siakam.
Right.
He's the only guy that plays in the box, and he only goes there when he gets a mismatch. If he's got
Correct.
somebody his
Otherwise, he on the
size on him,
wing. Yep.
he don't go down there. So everybody's on the perimeter. So guess what that allows your point guard to do? Dance. He can dance out there all night long.
You know what else
And if
that's
I
kind
can
of like?
score,
That's
hold
kind
on.
of like that Jeff Van Gundy offense that they had with Dwight Howard.
It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. Only thing with Dwight is he plugs the middle and everybody else go
So
around the
yeah, it's the
perimeter. You
opposite
see
way,
what I'm
but it's the
saying?
same
It's a
thing, right?
flip. Now they doing it with the
So,
guard because it's a guard heavy NBA.
NBA,
See?
right? Correct.
See what
But
I'm
it's the
saying? It's
same
a
It's
guard
the
driven
same
league now.
premise. Same premise. Yeah.
Same
so
premise.
if I took my emotions out, because again, I'm a Bucks fan, but I'm
From New York.
hometown. Look, that's my
I mean, I'm
hometown.
rooting for the Knicks too, bro.
Okay.
Um, if the best basketball wise, to me, the best championship series will be Indiana versus Oklahoma City,
I
because
Facts.
I
agree.
want to see what Oklahoma City's defense can do against the Pacers offense, and that will be a great matchup.
When
That will be a
Haliburton
good.
runs that switch and he ends up with Caruso on him, yeah, I want to see how
Mm.
that works for him. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? Because that didn't look good for Julius Randle or Ant Man yesterday.
Right. No, they look at him.
No,
You don't
They
want to
look
no,
switch,
at
bro. When you're
him.
switching from Lou Dort to Alex Caruso on
Right.
D, bro,
woo!
are you
Torture
serious, bro?
chamber,
Like
torture
Such a shame.
chamber.
that's torture, bro. Then you got Hartenstein helping on the weak side. If you get around this guy, now you got a 7-footer when you get to the rim. It's two of them down there, actually. Him
Facts.
and Chet down there. And they nasty, bro. That's why SGA don't really even got to guard nobody on defense like that. Because the other four dudes are locking up everything out there, bro.
Jalen Williams, opportunist
He
defensively.
had 5 steals.
Yeah, he an
He had five
opportunist.
steals. That's what I'm saying. I would like to see that too, B Shaq. But in my heart of hearts, I want to see the Knicks in the finals, man. I want to see the Knicks in the finals for some reason. I don't know what it
It would
is.
be great
The
for the
Oh,
Bucks
that'd
couldn't
be
NBA if
get
the
there.
Knicks
crazy.
were in the finals. It'd be better
New
for the
York,
NBA.
New York would be bananas, yo.
What?
It would be bananas. I can't even imagine. In fact, heard somebody say that they'll probably have to call a National Guard in.
That's what they were saying. I seen that they were saying that.
And I think it's true, man. They're so starved,
I
man.
mean, look at how
They,
they acted just winning the
Just
last
get to
round,
the
man.
Eastern Conference Finals. Right. Hold on 1 second,
I,
y'all. The homie Maurice in the super chat. Maurice, appreciate the $10 super chat. How in the hell do the Pacers make every shot, get every rebound, every call, and make every play? No mistakes at the end of games. Question, question. I have never seen anything like this in my day. I
you
was
know,
just saying that earlier, Maurice. There's no explanation for what we're
Only
watching,
you
bro.
know
Just
who this
watch it and
remind
let it be. Just watch
you
it
know
and let it be,
who
bro.
this
Don't try to
reminds me of.
understand it.
Y'all in the last 5, like the last probably like 10 years. I'll say more than 5.
Uh,
The Warriors used to scare me like this when I would watch the Warriors games. It seemed like
Mm.
when Clay and Steph was there, bro, it was like they were never out of games, bro. It's what B-Shack said. You had to run them off the floor. Like you had to beat them
Yeah.
by 25, 30 points. Because if it was close, going into the fourth, you were probably going to lose, or they were going to force overtime and you were going to lose. That's what
Yeah.
this is eerily reminding me of the Warriors back in the day. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
that's what it's given. Like the way the Pacers play, they never give up, and that's that Draymond Green attitude. He never gave
Right.
up on any games, and that's how the Warriors play. And that's kind of what the Pacers remind me of. And I don't know if that's the coach's attitude or what, but they don't like they never quit, even when they were
That's
down in this
crazy.
game.
Did y'all peep this? I didn't even say Eric Payne said the Knicks went on a 14-0 run in the
Yes,
fourth quarter.
yes,
And then
Yeah.
he said, before you know it, there's the overtime. That's insane.
that's pace. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? When you
So,
doing this, bing, 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 back and forth, you're giving me a chance to get back in the game, bro. It's a make or miss league. You're gonna miss some shots eventually. And if I score on your misses, guess what? We got a game. You're not stopping the clock. The Knicks don't really get to the free throw line. Brunson's the only guy who shoots free
That's
throws on their
true.
whole team. So it's not like they stopping the clock. It's just like Boston when Boston was chucking up all them threes. And the Knicks got them up out of here. It's pace. Boston stopped shooting all them.
It's got
The game Jalen Brown,
right.
the game Jalen Brown started going to the rack. What happened? Slowed down the game. He started getting to the free throw line and they won.
Fair move.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
okay. So let me compare this to boxing. Okay. Because I'm a big boxing fan.
Same.
So years ago in 1980 in Montreal, Sugar Ray Leonard, undefeated, fought Roberto Duran, who had lost one fight. Roberto Duran was coming up from lightweight to welterweight, and during the press stuff and the publicity stuff, Duran was being real filthy and real wild, man. He insulted Sugar Ray Leonard's wife, called her out of her name, all that type of stuff. Sugar Ray, known for the sweet science, the jab, the moving, the
Mhm.
combos. Duran got so much in his head, he said, I'm gonna beat Durant at his own game. And guess what? While you are a very good inside fighter, that's Durant's wheelhouse. He lives on the inside. Sometimes you can be lulled into thinking you can play the other team's game. Like you said, the Knicks try to run with the Pacers, but that's a fool's errand because eventually the person who that's their specialty, they're going to outlast you because that's what they do. And so
That's a great
if you do
analogy.
that, you got to
Great
do it
analogy.
in spurts. You can't do
Facts.
it prolonged. And we know Sugar Ray Leonard lost a unanimous decision, and but they fought a few months later, and the Sugar Man basically made him quit because he
Right.
Mm-hmm.
fought
Playing his
his
doing
style.
what he does. Doing what he does best.
That's right.
So you're saying the
That's
Knicks
right.
need to do what they do best versus trying to play the style
I
of the
agree,
Pacers.
and I'm telling you, I think you gotta. I know we hate to watch it, and it's kind of bad basketball, but I think that's the only basketball that's gonna beat the Pacers is Brunson over dribbling, because that's gonna eat up clock. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go
Mm.
down and you chuck early in the clock and you get him time to run back on the other end, bro, you're in trouble. I'm telling you, I don't care what team it is. That's just a bad strategy against the way the Pacers are built. Bro, Miles Turner hit 4 threes in the first half.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. Their center doesn't go on the block, bro. And then Siakam gets a
Siakam, for the
pick and
most
roll.
part, is their center for the
Bro,
like
Siakam gets a
post.
pick
Yeah.
and roll, gets that switch that everybody in the NBA does except for OKC. They're the only team in the league that don't switch. OKC ain't, and Minnesota don't really switch like that either. But OKC don't switch at all. And when they do, they're putting somebody better than the guy who was guarding you on you.
On
So
you,
you
right.
really don't want to switch when you play them. But what Indiana does is they run the pick and roll. Whoever Nimhard's man was or Haliburton's man ends up on Siakam, then he goes in the post
Right.
and he scores out the post. And they run a high low
High
with
low
him and
pick,
whoever the
yeah, pick
guard
and roll,
is.
yeah.
They out of that. That's their entire offense. And nobody's been able to stop it this entire playoffs. Doc Rivers, Kenny Atkinson, and Thibodeau couldn't today either. So I don't
he
know.
he almost did. He almost
He
did.
almost did. But
Scales, let me ask you a question.
he tried to
Let me
rip
ask
and
you a
run with these
question.
dudes.
With the Pacers pace, is I know we know Tibbs. We know how Tibbs likes to wear out his starters. Is he going deep enough in his bench
He not.
to
Nope.
make sure they're not getting worn down at
He
the end
not.
of these games?
And he not playing as bruisers. Precious Achua and PJ Tucker got to give you a couple minutes so they can get some fouls out there for you right quick, bro. Even if they only, like we were saying with Doc, you got to play them dudes just to lay a body on somebody, knock somebody down, because Indiana's playing their guys that do that. Obi Toppin, they're getting their minutes. Neesmith, they're getting their minutes. The nasty work. You know what I mean? The guys that going to do the dirty work and score. PJ might not give you no buckets, but he going to take some fouls away from
Right.
Towns. Because that was the other
Yo,
problem they ran into today. Towns got in foul trouble kind of early, too. That's another
yo,
reason why he slowed down. He twisted his ankle, and he got in foul trouble kind of
Yeah.
early.
what was that black college coach years ago? Was it Casey who
Nolan
said he
Richardson.
they caught him on tape saying he sent the goon in and broke the kid's arm.
I don't remember that.
I
That's
think his
wild.
last name is Casey. But basically what he was admitting to was he took dude that don't usually play and he said, Joe, go take homie out. Now I ain't trying to say take nobody out, but you can use some dudes to touch some dudes up, man.
Send a message. Send a message that it's not sweet. That's it.
And
Get him out the
and I don't
rhythm, man.
and I don't think because so this is what I'm saying. He's got a big lineup that's been working for him all playoffs, and that's when he plays Towns and Robinson together.
Yeah.
And today he didn't want to do that because Carlisle went small. And that's because you're trying to run with them. So instead of trying to run with them, you stay big and you slow the game down, Tibbs. This is going to have to go back to old
Yeah.
school New York basketball. We need a 101-99 score here, or you're
Yeah.
not going
Yeah.
to beat
Something
the
like that.
Pacers,
Yeah.
dog.
I agree.
You're not going to beat them. I'm telling you. They're not going to beat them trying to play this pace because he doesn't play enough guys. So it's not going
And
to
I
work.
didn't
His
know
guys
I
going to
didn't
be
know
winded and
Robinson.
tired.
I didn't know Robinson could move like he does.
Mm.
They showed a package earlier today how he was like all over the court on one
His
play.
perimeter defense is excellent for a
Excellent.
guy
Right.
that size. His footwork is crazy for a guy that size. He can guard
Yeah,
one through
he's a
five.
big dude.
Yeah,
He's a
and
big
that's a
dude,
big
man.
dude. He can move very well to be
Yeah. If he could
7'3",
hit free throws,
but
it'd be a problem.
yeah, it'd be a wrap. Yep.
Hold
At
on
the
one
same
second. Let me get
time,
these two super chats, y'all. Then we gonna go to B Shack. Give me 1 second here, B Shack. Maurice. Jesus. Appreciate the 10 super chat. Tyrese Yellow Pudding had the audacity to use the choke sign in the middle of Madison Square Garden in game 1 of the ECF. It's a 7-game series, bro. WTF. Somebody please introduce. We're
I
not
couldn't
waiting
believe
for
he did
injury,
that.
but we're
I
just
couldn't
I
believe
they're
he
believe
just
did
he
saying
that,
a
did it.
man.
message needs to be sent. Just a little, just a strong file, like, hey, it's not sweet over
Oh,
here.
no, that's mandatory.
Yeah.
You come in Masquerade Garden and you do that. That's like Michael. Who was it and went to Dallas and 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 and
Oh,
and,
Irvin.
and
Oh, that was Terrell
So
Owens.
and
T.O.
went
Yeah.
on the star. Nah, man. You in New York Masquerade Garden. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that, man. My wife said to me, "You supposed to be." My wife said to me, "You supposed to be a pastor, man. You get too angry." And I told her about this dude, my friend, years ago. Light skinned brother from Maryland, right? He was D'ing up on me, but he was fouling me. I was like, "Yo," and they kept doing it. I said, "Touch me one more time, one more time." Man, he swiped down my arm. I fired the ball at his head as hard as I could. Dudes had to come in and break it up. I'm from the old school, man. You got to pay for your wrongdoings.
Right.
You got to pay.
That's hilarious.
Period. You put the choke sign up in Masquerade Garden after hitting the shot. That's not even your thing, man. That's Reggie Miller's.
Right.
And let's
You
just look
steal
at the
you stealing in broad daylight. You stealing in broad daylight.
Hold on one
B Shack.
second.
We
One
might have
second.
some people.
1 second,
Oh,
Scale.
my
Hold
bad.
on. Pass. Appreciate the 4.99 super chat. More lamb sacrifices in the 2023 Heat. There's not basketball gods, only basketball.
No, for real.
Shout out to that. Go ahead, Scales. Then B Shaq. Go
No, for
ahead.
real. Like that's real. I mean, it's just when you B Shack's right. I mean, when you look at it in context, some people in the chat probably ain't old enough to even know what we referencing.
Mm.
But when Reggie Miller did that, he scored like 9 points in 13 seconds, so
Yeah,
something
something
13 points
crazy.
in 9 seconds or something. He did amazing. Nobody's ever done it ever. So that's why he was able to do that to Spike Lee.
And Scales,
Like,
he's lucky. He's lucky. He was at the end of the game. If that was like the second or third quarter, they had time to play. Oh, Reggie would have paid for that. Reggie would have doing
but I'm
this
saying he did it in the clutch, like you're supposed
Right.
to do it. You
in
get
the
what I'm saying?
clutch,
He did it
but the game was
with no
over, so he
time
was
left.
safe.
Yeah, like even when Tyrese just did this, we went to overtime, bro. Like,
Right.
what are you talking about? Like, Reggie won the game when he did that. Like, game over.
But
Get
in
out the
all
gym.
fairness, the Pacers did win the game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Reggie, it was no overtime with
Overtime.
Reggie
That's
Miller,
fair.
is what
That's
I'm
fair.
saying.
That is fair. Hold on. Maurice got you, B Shaq. Appreciate the $5 super chat, Maurice. That's what I'm talking about. B Shaq, it's time to put some Pacers on their back. Send the goons in. Sweep the damn leg like Cobra Kai.
Yo, yo, listen. Even back in the day, when I was around during the time of Mark and Rod Strickland and all those dudes in and out of parks and stuff. When you make your move and you go to the hole, but if you're gonna be out there like dancing on somebody, unless you was at Rutgers, if you can do that at Rutgers, you do that in a regular park, and you gonna make me look bad. Oh, you gonna get it. You just gotta prepare yourself for it. Street ball rules are different, man. And New York City is the Garden is like the street ball mecca, and I don't think people understand. I'm in South Florida. Football is king down here. You
Yeah.
go past every park, dudes on some sort of bar pulling up, running, because they make football players. Here in Texas, they make football players. In New York, every other block is a schoolyard. There's rims everywhere, man. All dudes do is play basketball. In the summertime, when they get a drink of water, they don't go get no bottled water. They open up the fire hydrant, man, and they drink from the fire hydrant. I mean, it's life.
Hey,
Amar,
he's
Amar,
spitting right here.
Amar, what did Thomas Bryant give Indiana tonight? I'm just curious. You can look at the stats for me
Yeah,
once.
yeah, yeah. Let me look real quick. Hold on 1 second. Thomas
Because I'm
Bryant.
saying this goes back to my point where Tibbs gonna have to play the Precious Achuas and people like that. Because
Thomas
Carlisle's
Bryant had
playing his
4 points,
Tom
13
Bryant.
minutes, and 2 rebounds.
See what I'm saying? But that's spelled Turner. That's spelled
Right. And
Siakam. You
then
get what
Yeah,
I'm
TJ
saying?
McConnell, 14 minutes, 10 points. Benedict Mathurian had 9 points in 21 minutes. Obi Toppin, 8 points, 20 minutes. That's a lot of people getting time.
yeah, man.
20
Because they,
minutes is
they,
quality time in a basketball game. That's a lot of minutes in a
Right.
48 minute game. That's 20 minutes is a long time.
Some
because
random dude named
Carlisle is
Ben Shepherd
smart.
got 7 minutes.
Carlisle is smart. He knows the pace they're playing. He's got to spread it out. It's just common sense.
Common
He
sense,
played.
And so
bruh.
when
They're
you playing
playing
a
10
team like
people. He
that,
played 10 people today. B Shack Scales. 10.
wow, yep. Because they're all in condition. They all know the style of play.
Yep.
It's just plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna be a lot to contend with, man. I think
Mm.
if the Knicks have to win the next game. It
They
just
have to.
I think for them it's a must win.
It's a must win, especially the way
You
they
go back to the
lost this one.
Indiana, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Because
they
they're gonna
don't
be
win the
ready in
next game, they'll
Indiana.
get swept. I'm sorry. No
I'm
disrespect. There's no glaze. Yeah, if they lose game 2, they're getting swept.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
that's
difficult for them
high
to win in
probability
Indiana.
game.
It's gonna be difficult.
I'm still kind of mind blown that they lost this game, man. Like like
And how they lost. It wasn't that they lost,
and
it's
how they
how they
lost it.
lost.
It's kind of crazy because like I said, I get a Knicks a lot of credit.
It's
And
kind
I
of
think Tibbs
crazy.
has been cheating because he's got like some of the best athletes in the league on his team. Like if you just look at Anunoby, Hart, and
Right.
Bridges. Like them dudes, if I could have them three dudes on my wing defending, I
Yeah,
play
Bridges
against
is a beast
anybody, honestly.
defensively.
Like,
Yes.
Bridges is a
man, them
beast.
dudes, they hustle, they play hard, they not scared. You know what I mean? They make smart basketball decisions, super athletic. Like OG is crazy. I was looking at him today, like that dude's like LeBron size, man. Like
Right.
that's a big
Yeah, he's a big
dude. Like
dude. He's a
that's a
big
big
dude.
dude, man. Like so Tibbs has been kind of cheating with that, but them guys got to be kind of tired, man. Boston wasn't an easy out.
Right.
Like that wasn't an easy, even though they won those games, those weren't easy games to
They had to
win. Like
fight.
they didn't just blow Boston off the floor
Right.
every night. Like they had to fight and win some of those. So, and in Indiana's case, they kind of coasted in the series they were in. Cleveland was kind of an easy out. So strenuous body wise
Yeah,
minutes. You
yeah,
know, I
Good
just
that's
point.
think
true.
Indiana's fresher
That's
than New
true.
York right now. To be honest with you, Tibbs gonna
So
have to play more people. I'm
I got a
sorry.
question for y'all. What was a worse loss? The Knicks loss tonight or the Bucks loss, their last loss to the Pacers? Which one was
I
worse?
I think
Our
ours
loss
was.
because we went home after the loss.
Not only just that, it's how the ball went through Trent's hands.
Right.
I still think about that like every day. I like replay that play almost every other day in my head. The man had 49. He was on fire. The man had 149 points. Trent did.
Right. And then
The man couldn't miss for 4 quarters, and he dropped the most important pass of his career, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And we
Well, I
went
think
home.
the difference is I believe we lost that game. I think the Indiana's won this game
Okay.
because the Knicks didn't make any egregious mistakes.
No, they just
The
let them
Pacers
keep
just kept coming.
kept coming. And it was a
it
point in
is a
time in the
2-to-1
game.
edge in turnovers though. 7
That part
turnovers is like 15 turnovers. That's a difference.
that
Yeah.
part and something Van Gundy, Stan, the brother brought up is that they was trading buckets. You can't be trading, but somebody gonna have to get a stop, bruh.
Right.
Like they're coming. It don't matter if we keep scoring. They're coming still. Like we're gonna have to get a
Right.
stop on the
They
other
not
end.
stopping. Right.
Look,
Yeah,
That's
you're not
like
getting a stop on the other end.
that's like
Like
the announcers. That's an announcer saying, "Oh, he's trade. Hey, he's trading punches with Tank
punches.
Davis.
Exactly.
He's
Eventually,
trading
one of
punches
them
with
punches
Tank
from
Davis.
Right.
You know that's
exactly
not going to end up
one of them
end up
punches gonna
good."
put you on your back, brother. For
Right.
real. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's just
Hey,
interesting to watch the Pacers impose their will. You get what I'm saying? We're talking about half court, and maybe coaches want to do that. Maybe they're trying to instruct their team to do that, and they just can't because the pace is what it is. They started from the
and
beginning, and it just is what it is. We've
I'm
done
gonna
it.
go
The
back.
Bucks did it.
I'm gonna go back to the front office. Salute to the dude, Kevin Pritchard. He should be up for GM of the year very soon. If he don't get it next year, he should get it because he did a hell of a job with that Indiana roster. I remember what
Yep.
they were before Haliburton got there, and they had some bonus on the roster and all of that. Like I remember that team. They were
Right.
bad. Then he beat us out of those draft picks for Jordan Nwora. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like he pulled some strings, bro. He got Obi from New York. He did some moves, bro. He took cats that weren't getting minutes and were out of the rotation on their teams, Neesmith in Boston, and gave him time where he at. And it done turned into something. He did the Siakam trade. Like, just look at what Pritchard's done with that roster in the last 4 years, man. They look like a
True.
totally different team from the bubble. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a totally different team. Go look at their roster from the bubble and look at them today. It's a
That's true.
totally different team. You know what I mean? Miles Turner, I think, is the only, him and McConnell might be the only original guys still from the bubble that's
McConnell's such a
still on
good
that
glue
roster.
guy to
Man,
have.
he's a glue guy. What is he going to play for 100 years? He's like Chris
Right.
Paul. Like, how long is he going to play?
Right. Yeah,
McConnell's
that's
been in the league for a
crazy.
while, man. Like, there's got to be at least like year 14 or something for McConnell.
Yeah, and
He's been
still looks
around for a
solid.
minute.
Still looks solid. Hold on one second.
No, he gave you 10 points in 15 minutes tonight.
That's all you can. What else can you ask for? Right. Hold on one second. Maurice, appreciate the $10 super chat. The Pacers have proven that if you can't go 10 deep with fresh athletic bodies against them, your team will burn out in the fourth quarter. Hold on, that is a great point. They will
Great
burn out
point.
in the fourth. OKC looks like the only team with the roster to beat them, in my opinion. That's what we want to see. Great point. Great point. Hold on one second.
This
Monalando, appreciate the $2 super chat. Please, God, don't make my nightmare come true. Hey, that's the point. Maybe OKC is the only thing that could withstand what they do. How do you stop? I'm asking y'all. Y'all talk about playing big and all that, but how do you stop that pace when they're running off of
No,
out
so
of
that's what I'm
bounds? They're
saying. You
running off of
have to slow.
misses.
Bro, did you see they got a 3-pointer off a what was it like a in? I think it was like a dead ball
Ball, yeah,
inbound.
that dead ball.
I
That's what
said,
I'm
this dude
saying.
Rick Carlisle is a goon. I'm like, how are you drawing up stuff like that fast, bro? And your players got the confidence to be like, you know what, I'm shooting this.
Right,
Well,
that's
Like,
crazy.
I think I think them versus the Thunder. See, both teams have this DNA that the sum of the parts are better than any individual, even though
facts.
Mm,
share on the team. And even on the Thunder, just the team culture, they don't even do interviews by themselves. They make sure everybody's in the interview. And if these two teams play each other, the way I see the Pacers pace themselves on offense, that's I see what the Thunder do on deep. You can't hardly even put the ball on the ground with the Thunder. Before you know it, you got two or three people around you, and they
Mm-hmm.
going the other way. That really is the great matchup. But I got one more boxing analogy. They say in boxing, you make your deposits
to the
early
body.
so you can get your cash out later on. You go to the body early to fight, and you
Mm-hmm.
get pounding the body, and then around, well, they don't have 15 round fights no more. Around the eighth, ninth round, you see those hands start to come down a little bit, and then you start cracking to that jaw. And that's the whole thing, man. If you are relentless in what you do and keep pressing, eventually, if the other team is not as in shape as you are in, or they're not playing as many players you're playing, it got to where something's got to give. Something's got to give. Pat Riley used to have the Showtime Lakers. They were Showtime, but how many people talked about the practices they used to have? He had them in better shape than anybody else in the league, and that's why people couldn't run with them because they were in better shape.
Mm,
A lot of people don't know Kobe Bryant
So,
used to go work out in Denver because of the
oh, the
air. You know what I
altitude.
mean? The altitude. So he
Yeah,
would be, you know what I mean,
yeah,
in tip top shape. He used to be in Denver every summer working on his game. He wasn't in LA. He was in Denver, getting in the mountains, running them. You know what I mean? Getting that air in his lungs. So when the season started, he'd go all. You remember how many minutes Kobe used to play? So that's what
right.
I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
so what do you think in the Minnesota OKC? Y'all got Minnesota? Do they have a shot?
They only have a shot of Ant goes crazy and Randall, and I can't see either one of those
Listen,
scenarios happening
well,
consistently.
the one thing I like about Ant, I love his approach to the game. He's like Floyd Mayweather. He gets all the data early on, and then he decides how he wants to attack. He's kind of like Dame a little bit. Dame is a little bit like that. You like, yo, be more aggressive, but he's taking in the information, how you playing, and also he sees what the team needs. But I think in this series, he got to come out from the gate and attack, man. He's got to, man, because uh just the psychological piece too. Uh the Thunder are so aggressive on defense, you need to punch back.
Correct.
Or you gonna be like this on the ropes all night. They go my boxing again. You
Hey,
got you
like
got to
Paul,
come
I'm
at
gonna
them.
bring the boxing that like Paul Williams back in the day. You remember Paul Williams? You could never, his hands would never stop moving. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I don't know. Like we talk of boxing, there's a dude named Paul Williams. He fought
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
Margarito, a couple other good cats, and he would just beat him because they could never get no shots off. His hands would just keep moving. So you doing this 12 rounds at the end of the fight, you got 112 punches thrown,
Yeah.
and he got 1236, and he done swept you 12 rounds, and you ain't lost a fight ever. You done knocked out everybody else but him because you couldn't let your hands go. And that's just a proof point. When you so good at what you do, no matter
Yeah.
what you try, it can just be neutralized if what you do is so good. You're so good at it, and it just
So
is
I
what it is. I
And,
don't even
and
know if
my,
OKC can withstand the Pacers, to keep it real. I don't
I
know. We're
don't know.
gonna see.
It's a question. We'll see with that. I'm
And
I'm kind
I'm
of
gonna say why I don't trust OKC.
okay. Why you say that?
OKC is only as good as Jalen Williams is that game. That is why I don't trust OKC. I don't trust Jalen Williams. If my brother was in the chat, I know he would be going ballistic about Jalen Williams. Hey, he's
I think
good.
I think he's probably like bottom half, second option in the league to me.
I would, yeah, yeah. That's
But
what I'm
their
saying.
team is so good that he doesn't have to be lights out like most second options have to be. Like what
But I
Middleton had
think
to be in
against the
Milwaukee,
Pacers, he would
he
have to
doesn't have to
play
do
well.
that.
Right, but
Yeah, he
against the
doesn't. What?
Pacers, he would have to play well in order
Oh
to beat
yeah,
the Pacers. He
absolutely,
can't do this, which
absolutely
if you look in the series against the Nuggets, he played like trash besides one game.
trash.
He played like trash.
And that's why the Nuggets were in that series the entire time because Jalen wasn't doing anything, bro.
Proof in the pudding. Thank you.
Yeah, yep.
Appreciate you.
I agree with you on that.
let me.
Proof in
Offense,
the
their
pudding.
offense.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Something I thought about tonight during the game. I said, if the Bucks are still playing and Giannis is playing, and they were calling the games like they are now, even though they were calling it against the Pacers too, when they let so much stuff go, and my thought process is that puts Giannis. At first, I was thinking, okay, that's an advantage, but then I said, I think it would be a disadvantage because they could do whatever they want to him. Almost, he wouldn't get the calls. Um, Under normal circumstance, he's going to the hoop, he get bumped wherever, he get the call. But when they allow so much to go, I can see them letting them do a lot of stuff to him, and he would still get his. But I kind of think that the gap and skills. I mentioned this the other night. One of the reasons why I felt some players were getting kind of hurt in the playoffs because they weren't so used to the physical contact they were starting to get in the playoffs. The gap is too wide. I think you need to make allow a little more physicality during the season
Yep.
and make it a less fit. Don't be so loose with the whistle during the playoffs. They need to close the gap a little bit because I think what the difference between now and the season is crazy. These
It looked
players
like
aren't used
it
to
looked like
seeing this.
it's like you watching two totally different sports, bro.
Right.
Two
The
totally
regular season,
different.
they look, and it ain't even just about intensity. It's about the way the games is called, the way the players is playing, but it's also what to your point. These guys have to play more minutes, and that's why this
Yeah,
whole minute restriction crap and guys sitting out games is tricky because when you get to this time of the year, bro, you're playing every other day
Right.
and you're playing like 40 minutes a night. If we're paying you 32 million, 35, 60, 70, 80 million, you're playing 40 minutes a night, bro. If you're on
yeah,
a playoff team, you get what I'm saying? And you're in a
yeah,
rotation, you're playing 30, 40 minutes a night. Every other night, B Shack. You got to think about these dudes to take the game off. If they got back to backs, they're not playing the next game.
Yo,
That's majority of the league. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
yeah.
Mr. Cool said you guys sound like Kamala Harris election team after Trump won again. Yo, Mr. Cool, what's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, yep, because we giving Trump's staff the credit and not Trump.
Trump.
So I'm giving Carlisle the credit
That's a
and not
good
the
one, Mr.
Pacers.
Cool. That
You
was a
know,
good
Mr.
one.
Cool,
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Cool loves the
Cool,
Pacers
yo.
players. You know, Mr. Cool loves the Pacers players. You know what I'm saying? The book is still out
Right,
with me and the Pacers players. I'm giving it to the coach still right
right.
now. I'm not ready to do
Do
that
y'all
yet.
do y'all think they're calling it different in the in
Yeah,
the
they
in the
definitely are.
East versus the West
I don't
versus
know
the
about that.
West?
I think it's been about the
Would
same.
Shea would
I've been
Shea
watching.
get all those calls he got by these refs? You
Brunson was
think?
kind of getting them tonight, though.
Yeah, he got 14 free throws tonight, same as SGA.
Okay.
So yeah,
He was getting them tonight.
boom, Eliza, boom.
What she say?
She finally on board. She
Shout out
said,
Eliza.
definitely we need to basically move off Brooke,
Oh yeah.
play our young guys a lot of minutes, look for another 3 and D, have the feeling Bobby is moving on, need to replace that product. Boom. Thank you, Eliza.
Hey
I'm
y'all,
Exactly.
scared
I'm
to talk.
out.
Finally.
I don't want to talk about us until the
Oh, you
draft.
said you gone, B Shack? Okay. So hold
Yeah.
on 1 second. Hey, hold on. Salute to B Shack. Great content today. The gems, the boxing analogies. Salute. Appreciate you, B Shack.
Yeah, I needed to cool off after the game, man, because I was
We appreciate you tapping in. I might go live
I
after every game.
scales.
Worst case scenario, I'm gonna go
Love,
live
bro.
after both games are concluded after the second game. So
B Shack,
we'll
we
be
gonna have
going
to get us
live
a
soon.
B Shack. We gonna have to go to the bodega get us some chopped cheese, man. These Knicks got to get it together, man.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
there you go.
hey,
All right, B
yes,
Shack,
sir.
appreciate you. All right, B Shack. Let me hold on 1 second, Scales. Let me
For
move you
sure.
over here, Scales, and then we'll get up out of here in a minute. All right, Scales, what's your last words there, brother?
I mean, like I said, the Knicks got to slow it down, bro. That's the only way they got a shot in this series. They can't rip and run with this Pacers team at all because Tibbs don't play enough guys, and I'm not mad at Tibbs.
Right,
I don't know even if the guys he play are the right guys to even be playing against this Pacers team. So I think the 7, 8 guys that he playing is enough. He's just gonna have to slow the game down. I think he needs to play both of his bigs more. I wouldn't play
correct,
small. If they run you off the court, they just run you off the court. But I think his bigs are big enough to move. They're not Brooke Lopez or nothing. So
correct. Yeah,
I
true,
think Mitchell
true.
Robinson
That's
can
a great
move. You know
point.
what I mean? And
Great
Cat can
point.
move. As far as in the West Coast, like I said, man, if Ant Man don't get average 35 in this series, if he's not Michael Jordan 37, I could see them getting swept.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I can see them getting swept.
If they lose
This
the next
pace,
game, they probably getting swept, bro. Is
yeah,
that
I can see them getting swept. Yeah, so I don't really know about the West Coast one. Like I said, DiVincenzo was 3 for 14.
right?
Jalen McDaniels, I think, was 3 for 8. Nas Reed
Nas
was one
Reed,
for
one of
one for
11.
11. Rudy Gobert took 3 shots, had 6 rebounds. Like I don't know if you're gonna beat the Thunder doing that, and Anthony Edwards only had 8. Because this is what I liked about the Thunder, and I was gonna say that before B-Shack got off here. Their star struggled, and they still won by damn almost 30. You get what I'm
Correct.
saying? And their star struggled. He had a bad. If you watch
Yeah,
that
10
game,
to
because I
27.
love how you started this pod, because I agree
Right.
with you. He looked horrible in that first half. For him to win MVP today, he did not look like an MVP yesterday at all
Right.
to me. That's why
Agreed.
Giannis is like, what? He won? You see Giannis's tweet? Like Giannis is
I
like, what? He won? Because to be honest with you, he did not look like an MVP yesterday. And that's
agree.
why they should stop giving out this award so late. But that's a whole nother conversation. Because if I had to give him my vote yesterday, he wouldn't have got my vote yesterday.
A
He
hundred
looked bad
percent.
in that.
100%.
He looked bad in that first half yesterday. And I feel like I said it was Caruso's defense, Hartenstein making them floaters, Jalen Williams 5 steals, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. That's a great game from your second guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Balanced
I'm
attack.
giving that to why they won the last game. Not so much SGA. I don't even think he had a good game. Like you said, he was 10
Right.
for 29 or something
Right.
like that. It
Yeah,
was
something crazy, right?
yeah, something crazy. So nah. So that's where I'm at with it. But as far as this pace, Knicks Pacers, I had Knicks in 6, but I guess I'm gonna have to go Knicks in 7 now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know,
We gonna see, hey, we know
we
Scales. We
gonna
gonna be
see.
here. We gonna chop it up.
We gonna see.
All right, Scales. Appreciate you, man. Legendary. All right, Scales. Go, bro. Appreciate you. Shout out to Scales. Appreciate you, bro. All right, y'all. Get Brandon in here before we get up out of here. What up, Brandon? How you feel about today's game? Make sure y'all hit that like button too as y'all get in the building. Appreciate the content, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. There you go. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Just hit the like button. Get the likes up. Before you get started, Brandon, we will be going live after the conclusion of the game too. So the next after the Pacers game, we'll go live. But depending on how many people want it, we can go live after every playoff game. But we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But for right now, I'm gonna do it this format where we're gonna go live after both games are concluded to give us enough time to talk about everything. I just think it make a little bit more sense and the best usage of time. So I think we're gonna probably do it after the second game is concluded by both teams. So appreciate y'all getting them likes. So go ahead, Brandon.
That sounds good. Um, you my good picture. Oh, we're good, y'all. Um, I don't know how the baby doing, man. He trying to it's driving up to a goddamn wall.
Right.
Like, hey man,
They
we
they
had to
they
get
they're scary. They just don't quit. They keep coming like Jason, Michael Myers
yes,
or something.
like
They
Freddy
just keep
versus Jason.
coming.
Yes, like Freddy versus Jason.
Right.
They keep coming.
Right.
So I think let's talk about the West Side, the OKC, and Timberwolves game. Uh, 88. I don't think 88 does not deserve the MVP.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's already done. It is what it is.
I don't like that at
No,
all.
no, I feel you.
Like I put in the comment section, 88 is three Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. Facts.
So I'm not mad about that. That's
Right.
fine. I think Minnesota, Minnesota's bigger something now.
Right.
If Minnesota do not figure that out, next game, they're probably going to be destroyed.
Yep. Facts. And then what you think about the Pacers? Do you think they're gonna win that series?
It might go to the second game.
You think it's gonna go 7 games?
Yeah. I want the Knicks
Appreciate
to
y'all getting the
win.
likes up.
I want the Knicks to win. In my heart, I think the Pacers might do it. In my heart, the Pacers might do it. In my gut, the Knicks are going to bring that fight out of them. I think we want to see the Knicks versus OKC in the final, but in my mind, I'm thinking we all want to see the Knicks versus OKC in the final
Mm-hmm.
because the two teams who are in the final can play as I said that thing. I agree with Big Shot, Gail, putting up the whole politics about Wood Carlisle. I think we do not give Wood Carlisle his credit,
Mm-hmm.
not credit. So we're gonna see how these rest of these playoffs
Right.
play out. Eastern Conference and Western Conference play out.
Yeah, we gonna see. So yeah, we gonna go live again after both these game twos, bro. So make sure you
I
tap in, Brandon.
I appreciate all that back in. To look at my Buck Nation, that explains this playoff season is wild.
Right.
It's very intense. Plus eye opening. So to look at y'all, taking one step at a time, taking one day at a time. Hey, even though even though we even though we put out, but we're gonna keep putting that fire content out. No worry. So we're gonna we're gonna see how these recipes these playoffs play out.
Right.
See what the fuck they can tell me, friend. I love y'all. Take it one day step, take it one day at a time, and one step at a time. And with y'all, I love you how that goes.
All right.
Have a good
Appreciate
day.
you, Brandon. All right, bro.
All right.
Shout out to Brandon. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in. We'll be going live in a few days as well. Appreciate all the community support to the post, to the shorts. The channel is growing. Appreciate all of y'all. Please make sure to share the content. Hit the like button. Are you not entertained by this excellent quality basketball analysis? Shout out to Scales and B Shack for joining. Everybody in the chat with the excellent commentary. Are y'all not entertained? Who else is doing it like us? All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. We just got done talking about both games in the in the prospective conference finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, which is the Pacers that they just won in crazy fashion against the Knicks, where they were down by 14 with 3 minutes and 23 seconds and turned around and won in overtime in shocking fashion against the Knicks, where both Brunson and Cat pretty much went for 40 and they still lost. This Pacers team is I don't know what they got going on. Somebody related to an Anunnaki or something. I have no clue, but they're playing on a different frequency than the rest of the NBA. It's wild how they come back like that. And then OKC just they ran Minnesota out the building. I don't think honestly, y'all know we trying to be optimists, but Minnesota's not equipped to beat no team like OKC. They don't have enough firepower to beat no team like OKC. It would take a Hercules performance from Anthony Edwards for them to be able to compete with OKC. We got to keep it real. Like I don't see Minnesota winning that series. Maybe they do. Julius Randle plays spectacular, averages 30 a game. It's just not. They don't have a third scorer either. Nah, it's a wrap for Minnesota, I think. But we appreciate them for participating. It is what it is. All right, y'all. I'm up out of here. See y'all in a couple days. Gone.